because I know how much loss he's suffered. But I knew that if I didn't say it.
In Montecito, Meghan is making headlines again as Tom Bower reveals 10 shocking truths about the royal wedding that many never expected. From hidden details to surprising claims, the story feels intense and full of tension. What really happened behind the scenes? Why are these secrets coming out now? Join us as we uncover everything. The closer look at Meghan's royal story. For years, Meghan presented a carefully shaped image to the world. She appeared as the reluctant royal, the innocent American actress who entered a complex institution without understanding its rules. This image suggested she was unprepared and overwhelmed, facing challenges she never expected. However, as of March 2026, that image has come under serious question. The narrative has not simply weakened, it has completely fallen apart under growing scrutiny. New claims and research have brought forward a very different version of events. From the early stages of her connection with Prince Harry to the private details surrounding their £32 million wedding, a new perspective has emerged. This perspective challenges the idea that everything happened by chance or innocence. Instead, it suggests careful planning and strong personal control behind the scenes. A key part of Meghan's public story came from her statements during her interview with Oprah Winfrey. She said she did not know much about the royal family and had not even searched for information about Prince Harry. This claim became one of the strongest pillars of her image. It supported the idea that she entered royal life without preparation or intention. However, research by Tom Bower, along with insights from individuals within London's elite social circles, presents a completely different picture. According to these findings, Meghan's interest in becoming connected to the royal world may have started as early as 2013. After the end of her marriage to Trevor Engelson, it is suggested that her approach toward relationships changed in a more focused direction. Rather than meeting Prince Harry by chance, the claims suggest that she actively sought out such a connection. Bower's work states that Meghan studied Prince Harry in detail. She understood his emotional state, including the grief he carried after losing his mother. She also knew about his strong connection to Africa and his deep involvement in charity work. When the opportunity for a blind date appeared at a private club in Soho, London, it was not seen as a random meeting. Instead, it was described as a carefully prepared moment. During that meeting, Meghan presented herself in a way that closely matched Harry's values and emotional needs. She appeared as someone deeply interested in humanitarian work and shared his outlook on life. This strong alignment created an immediate connection. According to these accounts, the bond formed very quickly. Further details from her past, including comments from former friends and activity on social media, show that Meghan had long been interested in British high society. This interest existed before she ever met Prince Harry. Based on this, her public image of innocence is described as a performance rather than reality. The 2018 royal wedding was presented to the world as a powerful symbol of unity and change. It was meant to reflect a modern and inclusive monarchy. However, behind the scenes, reports describe a very different atmosphere. Instead of calm preparation, there were tensions, disagreements, and strong demands. One of the most discussed details involves Meghan's choice of transportation on the wedding day, the 19th of May, 2018. She arrived at St. George's Chapel in a Rolls-Royce Phantom 4. This car is extremely rare, with only 18 ever made. It also carries historical meaning, as it was once associated with Wallis Simpson, the American divorcee linked to the abdication of King Edward VIII. According to insiders, the royal household had suggested other vehicles for both symbolic and security reasons. These suggestions were reportedly declined. Meghan insisted on using the Phantom 4. While some see this as a simple preference, others believe it carried a deeper message. It has been interpreted as a deliberate signal, linking her presence to a past moment of major disruption within the monarchy. Another issue involved the condition of St. George's Chapel itself. Reports confirmed by journalists, including Robert Jobson, and supported by Bower's findings, describe Meghan's reaction to the historic building. She reportedly felt the chapel had an unpleasant smell. In response, she requested that staff use air fresheners or atomizers throughout the space before guests arrived. This request caused serious concern among palace staff. The chapel is not only a place of worship, but also a deeply respected historical site. Staff members refused to carry out the request due to the importance of preserving the space. This disagreement led to a strong reaction, described by staff as an intense display of anger. According to these reports, this was not seen as simple attention to detail, but as a strict and controlling approach. This moment became one of several that contributed to growing tension within the royal household. It also marked the beginning of difficulties among staff members, some of whom found it hard to manage the increasing demands. Another widely discussed moment took place during Meghan's walk down the aisle. She chose to walk the first part alone, presenting herself as independent and strong. This decision also connected to her personal situation with her father, Thomas Markle, who was not present. During this walk, there were reports of a brief interaction with a royal assistant. The assistant attempted to help adjust her veil or guide her path. According to accounts, Meghan brushed the assistant aside, wanting full focus on her entrance. This moment, though brief, was seen as significant by those observing closely. When she reached Prince Charles, who then walked her the rest of the way, the visual story was complete. The moment created a powerful image, combining independence with royal support. However, critics argue that this sequence was carefully designed to shape public perception. One of the most serious questions raised about Meghan's credibility relates to her claim that she and Prince Harry were privately married 3 days before the official ceremony. She said this happened in their backyard with the Archbishop of Canterbury. This statement later faced strong scrutiny, raising doubts and leading to further debate about the accuracy of her public claims. As more details continue to emerge, the contrast between the public narrative and these reports has become more noticeable. What was once accepted as a simple and emotional story is now being re-examined with greater attention. The wedding growing divide. The Archbishop was eventually forced to speak and clear the confusion. He explained that the only legal wedding ceremony took place on Saturday, May 19th. This statement directly corrected the earlier claim that a private ceremony had happened before the public event. After this was exposed, the Sussexes adjusted their story and described the earlier moment as a private exchange of vows instead. This raised an important question about why such a claim was made in the first place, when it could easily be checked. Tom Bower argues that this situation reflects a deeper pattern. According to him, Meghan needed to believe, and also make others believe, that the very expensive wedding, which cost £32 million, was not something she truly wanted. The idea presented was that it was a grand show created by the palace, while her real and meaningful marriage was something quiet and personal. However, Bower claims that behind the scenes, Meghan was actively involved in demanding every detail of the large ceremony. At the same time, she spoke about it in a way that suggested she had little control, which helped her gain public sympathy. A key moment in Prince Harry's personal change happened during a shooting weekend at Sandringham in 2017. He was excited to introduce his fiancée to his closest friends, many of whom he had known since his school days at Eton and during his time in the army. Instead of a smooth introduction, the meeting became uncomfortable. Reports from Bower's sources say that Meghan did not simply disagree with Harry's friends during conversations. She questioned them in a direct and intense way. She reportedly challenged their views on topics such as sexism, feminism, and transgender issues. Her strong approach surprised the group and created tension. Many of Harry's friends, who come from aristocratic backgrounds, left the gathering feeling uneasy. They shared their honest opinions with Harry afterward. They described Meghan as critical, condescending, and lacking humor. Rather than reflecting on their concerns, Harry began to distance himself from these longtime friends. Several of them were not invited to the important dinner held after the wedding. This decision showed a clear break from his past relationships. As the wedding approached in 2018, attention turned to Meghan's father, Thomas Markle. The public saw him become a central figure in the media, especially after staged paparazzi photos appeared. While this was widely discussed, Bower suggests there was a deeper reason behind the distance between Meghan and her father. He claims that Meghan felt uncomfortable with her father's simple and unpolished image. She believed he did not fit the refined and polished identity she wanted to present. It is also reported that King Charles, who was the Prince of Wales at the time, personally encouraged Meghan to travel to the United States to repair her relationship with her father. He advised her to avoid further public tension. Meghan declined this suggestion, explaining that it was due to security concerns. However, palace staff reportedly found this reason unconvincing. Bauer presents this as a deliberate choice. Without her father present, there was no risk of him affecting the carefully planned image of the wedding. Meanwhile, her mother, Doria Ragland, was brought in shortly before the ceremony, helping maintain a modern and composed public image. Other members of the Markle family were not included. Another widely discussed issue during this period was the bridesmaid dress situation. Meghan later shared that Catherine, also known as Kate, had made her cry. However, Bauer's account, based on sources who were present, presents a different version. Staff described Meghan's working style as intense and overwhelming. There was a disagreement between Meghan and Kate about the fit of Princess Charlotte's dress. Kate followed royal traditions, which include having bridesmaids wear tights at formal events. Meghan did not agree with this and resisted the idea. There was also tension when Meghan was told she could not wear the emerald tiara she had originally chosen. Harry's strong reaction during this moment became widely known. According to Bauer, this was not just an emotional response, but also showed a growing mindset where the couple saw themselves as standing against others. The disagreements were not only about clothing or details, they reflected a deeper issue of authority and influence. Meghan aimed to establish her position strongly, without following traditions that others had spent years learning. This created an environment where staff felt uncomfortable and tried to avoid direct interaction. Bauer also claims that one of Meghan's most powerful influences on Harry was encouraging him to see her as similar to his mother, Princess Diana. By presenting herself as someone targeted by the media, she connected with Harry's past experiences and emotions. Diana became respected over many years of public service, while Meghan, according to Bauer, appeared to seek similar recognition quickly. Elements such as her wedding veil and public statements were seen as part of this image. For the British public, the wedding on May 19, 2018, was a joyful national event. It celebrated tradition, diversity, and unity. However, Meghan later described it as something she had to endure. Bauer highlights that this difference between the public's view and her own words created a lasting impact. The large cost of the event and her later comments about it led to a serious gap in public trust. This contrast, according to Bauer, has had a lasting effect on how she is viewed. Shifting narrative and its consequences. One of Meghan's most powerful tactics in her conflict with the monarchy was how she presented financial facts. As tensions increased, she described the wedding costs as a burden she had to carry, while also suggesting that taxpayers funded it, which stirred public resentment. The total wedding cost was about 32 million euros, but most of this amount went to security. Under the UK system, the royal family privately paid for the church service, flowers, decorations, and receptions. The state covered security because a royal wedding is a national event that brings major tourism and cultural value. Meghan blurred these facts by implying the public paid for everything, creating the idea that she was owned by them. In reality, she experienced a rare level of luxury and protection while preparing her departure. During the Oprah interview, she described St. George's Chapel as a global show and suggested she and Harry wanted something private, making the public event seem empty. This disappointed many people who celebrated the wedding as a moment of unity. Reports from 2018 show she was deeply involved in planning every detail. The event was not something she endured, but something she shaped. Later, the disagreement over bridesmaid dresses became another key issue. Meghan claimed Catherine made her cry, but staff accounts described a clash over standards and protocol. By reversing the story publicly, Meghan positioned herself as the victim. By March 2026, ongoing reports and released details have challenged her earlier claims. The royal family has chosen silence, staying detached and stable. Meanwhile, her public image has shifted. Brands and studios are cautious, viewing her as a risk. The promised global success has faded, and her position in the entertainment world now appears uncertain. Cracks in the Sussex strategy. The foundation of the Sussex's financial independence was built on the widely reported $100 million deal with Netflix. At first, this partnership brought strong attention and success, especially with the Harry and Meghan documentary. It attracted high viewership, largely because it focused on personal struggles connected to royal life. However, this type of content had limits. It relied on past experiences that could not be repeated in the same way. As time passed, expectations remained high, but new ideas did not meet those expectations. Projects like the animated series Pearl were eventually cancelled, showing a clear gap between promise and delivery. Industry voices described a growing sense of creative fatigue. Meghan's public image began to weaken because it appeared reactive rather than original. Instead of building fresh ideas, her efforts seemed focused on shaping how she was seen. As public interest in her earlier narrative reduced, there was little new substance to maintain attention. This shift made it harder to sustain her position in a highly competitive entertainment space. The earlier collapse of the Spotify partnership also added to this perception. By 2026, many in the industry viewed Meghan as someone who struggled to meet the high expectations tied to major deals. The focus moved from potential to performance, and the results did not match the scale of the opportunities given. Tom Bower also presented a controversial view of Meghan's long-term strategy. He suggested that her relationships often followed a pattern linked to personal growth and advantage. According to this view, she moved on from people or roles when they no longer supported her ambitions. This idea gained more attention as rumors spread in early 2026 about her building connections within elite business circles, especially among wealthy investors and technology leaders. At the same time, reports described a tense environment around her. There were claims of strong reactions to criticism, especially as former staff began sharing different perspectives about past events. Efforts to manage her public image became more intense, with attempts to control online narratives. However, these actions often had the opposite effect. Each response brought more attention to the very issues she aimed to reduce, creating a cycle that was difficult to break. While this situation developed in California, the monarchy in London showed a very different picture. Under King William and Queen Catherine, the institution appeared stable and focused on public service. Their steady approach gained positive attention, and the royal family chose not to engage in ongoing disputes. Instead, they reduced their response, which shifted public focus away from conflict. Prince Harry's position also changed over time. Without strong ties to the royal system, he began to be seen as separate from the influence he once had. This shift affected how he was viewed both publicly and within elite circles. By 2026, the most significant impact on Meghan was not legal but social. Many high-profile figures who once supported her had stepped back. They avoided involvement in ongoing tensions, choosing to protect their own reputations. As public trust weakened, credibility became a major issue. In the entertainment world, belief and trust are essential. Without them, long-term success becomes difficult to maintain. Rising pressure around past and present. In the high-stakes world of royal survival, secrets remain the most powerful form of control. By March 2026, Bower is said to have uncovered information that connects the Hollywood Duchess to some of the most controversial social circles of the early 2000s. What once seemed like minor issues has now grown into something much bigger. It is no longer about small royal disagreements. It now involves deeper concerns, including links to the Epstein shadow and a series of legal tensions that have turned the divide between Montecito and London into a serious conflict built on records and evidence. One of the most troubling parts of Bower's findings focuses on Meghan's life before she became a royal. His research highlights her strong connection to the Soho House global network and its influential figures. Through these links, she reportedly moved within elite groups that overlapped with Prince Andrew and, by extension, Jeffrey Epstein. The report also brings back attention to a key moment when lawyers for Virginia Roberts Giuffre were said to have considered calling Meghan Markle as a witness in the civil case against Prince Andrew. This idea was based on a belief among insiders that Meghan may have known details about Andrew's private life and his close circle that very few people understood. Bower also points out something that stands out clearly. During many public statements and media appearances, Harry and Meghan have spoken strongly against several royal figures, including William and Camilla. However, they have remained silent about Prince Andrew. According to Bower, this silence suggests a quiet balance, where both sides choose not to speak because of what each side may know. The well-known tiara disagreement is often described as a simple bridal issue, but Bower's investigation presents it as something much more serious. It marked the first major struggle for control between Meghan and Queen Elizabeth II. Meghan reportedly requested an emerald-encrusted tiara, known as the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik. When the Queen's dresser, Angela Kelly, explained that the piece was unavailable due to unclear history and rumored links to the Russian Revolution, tensions rose quickly. Harry's reaction at the time was not only emotional support but also seen as a direct challenge to royal authority. The Queen later made it clear that Meghan would wear the tiara chosen for her. This moment showed the limits of Meghan's influence and, according to Bauer, marked the beginning of a deeper conflict with the institution. In 2021, the palace began a bullying investigation related to Meghan's treatment of staff. The results were not made public at the time. Now, Bauer claims to have seen parts of that investigation, including summaries from witnesses. These accounts describe staff members feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and deeply affected by her behavior. Reports mention early morning emails, strict corrections, and an environment that left some employees in distress. The most serious issue here is the contrast between public image and private actions. While Meghan was presenting messages of kindness and compassion in public work, her staff were reportedly facing emotional strain behind closed doors. Bauer believes this difference is what she fears most being revealed. As these pressures grow, the palace has changed its approach. Instead of responding publicly, it has chosen to quietly gather and store information. Under King William, this strategy is described as calm but firm. Reports suggest that the palace has prepared its own detailed records, including emails, time logs, and internal footage covering the period from 2018 to 2020. This collection is seen as a strong form of protection. If there are further public attacks through books or interviews, the palace is believed to be ready to release the full bullying report. This possibility is said to be a major concern for Meghan, as it would present detailed records that cannot easily be reshaped by public relations efforts. The £32 million royal wedding once served as a powerful beginning for Meghan's public image. Over time, however, it has become a point of tension. By later describing the event in negative terms, she has distanced herself from the very system that brought her global recognition. While the royal family continues to generate strong public and financial support, Meghan is now often viewed differently in the United Kingdom. Public opinion has shifted, and her position has weakened. At the same time, her professional deals in Hollywood are facing challenges, and the lack of royal support has made her situation more difficult. Bauer suggests that seeking support from wealthy connections is no longer a choice but a necessary step for stability. Meghan now faces pressure from multiple sides. On one side is her past and the questions linked to it. On the other is the palace's collection of records. Above all of this are Bauer's ongoing revelations. The strategy that once seemed carefully planned is now facing serious limits. The royal system, known for patience and long-term thinking, continues to hold its ground. As March 2026 comes to an end in Montecito, there is a growing sense that the Sussex brand is weakening. What once appeared strong and polished is now facing deep challenges. The steady release of new claims has removed the surface shine and revealed a situation marked by pressure and isolation. What began as a grand royal moment in 2018 has now reached a point where the future feels uncertain. This stage represents the final phase, where every move matters and where the path forward is no longer clear. The fading role and changing royal reality. One of the most emotional parts of Tom Bauer's recent exposure focuses on the mental and personal state of Prince Harry. According to Bauer, Harry was never truly seen as an equal partner in Meghan's eyes, but rather as a gateway. He suggests that Harry's value was closely tied to his royal status. Now that his connection to the monarchy has been cut and the image linked to Princess Diana has been challenged, Bauer believes Harry's importance is slowly fading. By early 2026, reports from London indicate that Harry has made careful and quiet attempts to reconnect with Prince William, now King William. These moves appear hesitant and uncertain. Harry is described as someone who has lost many defining parts of his life. His military roles are gone, his close family ties have weakened, and his sense of identity seems unclear. Without the support and structure of the royal institution, he is now viewed as just another public figure in a place where attention quickly shifts to the next new personality. William's reaction has remained distant and firm. The royal household has continued without disruption. The gap left by Harry has already been filled by active working royals and the growing public affection for William's children. This shift has made it clear that Harry is no longer central to the monarchy's function. He is now seen as separate from the system he once represented. At the same time, Meghan is reportedly spending more time in major cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles rather than staying in Montecito. Bauer suggests that her focus has shifted toward finding new opportunities and connections. He claims she may be seeking someone with strong global influence, possibly someone in the world of business, who can offer a level of power that Harry no longer holds as a former prince. Bauer draws comparisons to her past relationships, noting how she previously moved on from Trevor Engelson and Thomas Markle. Based on this pattern, his report predicts a possible separation between Meghan and Harry. He suggests it would be presented publicly as personal growth, while he interprets it as a strategic decision. However, there is also uncertainty about her future path. With past allegations of difficult behavior and inconsistencies in public statements highlighted by both the Archbishop and media coverage, Meghan's public image has become more complicated. Bauer describes her brand as damaged, making it harder to rebuild trust. He points out that individuals with great wealth and influence often value privacy, while Meghan has gained a reputation for public disclosures, which may limit her opportunities. In his final assessment, Bauer presents his views as a warning to the royal institution. He argues that Meghan's approach to her royal role reflected a misunderstanding of its purpose. When she described aspects of her wedding in a way that differed from official accounts, it created controversy rather than authenticity. As a result, the 2018 royal wedding is portrayed not as a moment of progress, but as a major turning point that benefited personal branding more than the institution itself. He also references symbolic gestures, such as the use of the Rolls-Royce Phantom 4, suggesting that attempts to send bold messages did not have the intended effect. Instead of being seen as a modern and independent figure, Meghan has faced criticism that has affected her reputation. The issue of staff treatment continues to play a role in shaping public opinion. Reports connected to a bullying dossier remain unresolved in the public space, creating lasting questions about her leadership style. In a time where accountability is highly valued, these concerns have had a strong impact on her image, especially in areas connected to charity and humanitarian work. While Meghan's situation appears uncertain, the British monarchy has continued to move forward. The steady presence of the King and Queen consort has helped create a sense of stability. Their consistent focus on duty has strengthened public trust and reduced the impact of ongoing controversies. The royal family's approach has been quiet but effective. By not directly responding to criticism or engaging in public disputes, they have allowed time to shift attention away from conflict. This strategy has helped them maintain their position without entering into prolonged public battles. The institution has also learned important lessons about structure, preparation, and the importance of maintaining clear boundaries. The period associated with Meghan is now seen as a difficult chapter that has come to an end. As of the 31st of March, 2026, the situation has become clearer. Reports suggest that major entertainment deals are slowing down, while financial pressures continue to grow. Public opinion has also shifted, moving from strong support to increasing criticism. Meghan currently holds no direct connection to the king, no influence within the royal household, and limited political presence. Information from various sources, including corrections from the Archbishop, detailed research by Tom Bauer, and internal records, has contributed to a new understanding of past events. Her original goal appeared to be becoming a widely loved public figure, similar to the image once associated with Princess Diana. However, her actions are described as more focused on control and presentation. The royal family, with its long history and traditions, was treated as a step toward building a separate public identity. But that plan did not fully succeed.